put down 3 of my 4 players.
I mean, it's perfectly reasonable when you're laid out like that. So,
listen, it was a solid argument. I hope everyone got it.
Yeah. But I mean, that was definitely too long to reiterate back over again. Otherwise, we're going to be here for another 2 hours. So,
No. Anyway, people just got to show up on time.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, but you know what's really annoying?
Go on.
When people think that they are entitled to give their opinion on something from their point of view on your country.
Oh, joy, yeah.
I'm going to start this off with something that's really, really heavy, and it's been bugging me all week, and I'm pretty sure everyone knows what I'm about to say now. I am sick to fucking death of specifically American and British individuals with opinions of what happened in Australia last Sunday.
Yeah.
If you're British, you can take your Murdoch opinion and shove it back up your ass, you fucking cunt. Quite frankly. That's all I've got to say on that one. If you're American, feel free to say, oh, gee, I'm super sorry about what happened. That's cool. That's fine. That's all you need to say. Because I've only encountered one person from North America who has actually done the right thing and said, what happened here was terrible. And that's all that needs to be said. Because everyone else, every other fucking Seppo has gone on to then say, but guns or your rights or freedoms or Israel or you know what? Fuck off. I have more or less spent the last 15 years since I decided to look into this, of every time we got reports of, and as the internet has evolved and news sites became more readily available on the internet and stuff, kind of looking at both sides in America on the whole gun thing, right? And I think I'm at a point where understanding their culture, their laws, their regards for things, their history, 10 years ago was pretty much the absolute last second that they probably had to try to enact any kind of gun reform in their country, right? Because at this point, as Mr. Luigi proved, they're now at a point where you can make your gun. They've waited too long and allowed the technology to supersede any law to change things. Because for Australia, back when we did our gun reforms, there was a big push. But since then, we've had over 25 years to change our cultural position on how we view guns. We've had that essentially detox of it. There is no way that they can do that now. Not with the ability to effectively 3D print a gun. So they're kind of at a point where they've waited too long and made too many delays is the best way I'll put it, to be able to change things there. That's unfortunate, but it's also the proliferation of the culture and the mindset of things, right? Because it's not okay. This is gonna be fucking. I'm sorry if I'm boring you on this. It's really weird, but because of their origins, like how America was founded and stuff, they treat their constitution in the same way that religious fundamentalists revere the Bible. That's why they always talk about their constitution and stuff like that. It's part of their heritage, that kind of religious fervor for it, right? So things that are enshrined, even if it is an amendment, which I swear to God, they have no idea what that word means. They consider it essentially blasphemy to change something like that, even though it is a change to begin with. But let's not go into that. So, with that said, when they have an opinion on what happened here, it's always from, well, guns are right. No, guns are right in your country, with your constitution, with your laws and history and culture. That's not Australia. We have our constitution. Fucking Sepoys should learn what our constitution is before they take an opinion on what our... Yep.
I just want to jump in and basically elaborate on your point. The interactions I've had with specifically people or citizens of the United States is that they often forget that the ecosystem outside of the United States has not moved at the same tempo, at the same viewpoints in terms of what is a right as versus what is a privilege. Guns, for the majority of the European Union and the UK included, it's a privilege. You are allowed to go out and go through the training. You are allowed to go and get the background. You are allowed to go and get a rifle of some form. There are checks and boundaries put in place in the majority of the countries, and then there are requirements that you need to meet in order to do that. It's not meant to be easy because, at least speaking from the point of view of Denmark, it's seen as you having a privilege to have the access to something that is considered to be very deadly. No different than you learning to go and drive a car. It is a potential very deadly object that you will get your hands on. Ergo, you need to be trained and you need to understand what it is that you are going to be privileged to have, which is why you have your car license can be revoked if you're found to be irresponsible as a driver. No different than your gun, at least in in the United Kingdom, you're only allowed to have hunting rifles and shotguns for the sake of hunting rifles and going to gun ranges. In Denmark, you can have handguns. You can have it is semi-automatic. And again, there are rules and checks and in place of all that, so you will be registered. That's a privilege. Again, in a lot of places in America, when I've interacted with them, it's incomprehensible that they would have to be on a list of their weapon is registered, and it's like, well, that's the reality that we've come to. Yeah. So it's the whole conversation of gun laws and what have you. It's null and void whenever I interact with Americans, because their viewpoint is just this is what they believe is their God-given right.
Yeah,
I disagree. I think it's a privilege that you should be earning. Yeah. In regards of what happened, as you mentioned, it's a tragedy. It's horrible, and I've only got the best wishes and positivity for the affected families, so that and for those who were injured, that they may recover. This thing that anyone truly would be feeling And those who don't, that's, I hope there's a special place in hell for them.
And that's another thing. I have become equally, depending on the news program, of course, apparently here, either very glad or very outraged at how the news has presented it.
Mm-hmm.
Because either they focus on the victims and praise the heroes that either got hurt or lost their lives, or they talk about the victims and then talk about the shooters and name them. Stop fucking naming them.
We've been told this for decades by psychologists. Copycats do this because they go, well, whatever it is that's going on in their mind, I can't understand it. I'll be very honest, but they're at a dark place in their life where they think that this is truly the only way for them to do something with themselves, and they do this so that they think that they're going to be martyred, remembered. The reality is that, if we are to address them, we are to address them in a way that will, minimize them. This will be a sad footnote in the history of Australia, where we will remember, people who have lost, people who have passed away, and we will focus on the heroes who have tried to stand up to this, and then keep the focus on that. Do not show. I think one of the psychologists said, "Do not show sirens, do not show police, do not show the drama, because that is actually what attracts the people who want to do this."
Yeah.
You have a simple journalist who stands and talks to the victims. Let them see the horror that is being committed. Let everyone understand, like, this is bad. We do not want this. And do not give any light. Just state the facts. One person did this. This many people are injured. Let's go and see how well they're recovering. Let's go and talk to the doctors about this. How are they doing? What are we doing to help them? So, service. Wasn't there like a GoFundMe that also happened for one of the heroes or something like that?
Yes, Ahmed Ahmed. Yeah, one of the weirdest things about that was that someone donated $99,999. And I finally got to see who the name was, and I was like, who the fuck is this dude? He's some weird hedge fund manager in the US who apparently donates to heroes of these kind of things. And I'm like, I mean, apparently you're worth like $19 billion, so, just shy of $100,000 is going to do nothing for you. It is nothing to you, but like, I'm having trouble understanding why.
So this individual has basically been continuously, every time there's a GoFundMe to support people who have stood up to violence or anything like that, he's just like, send money.
Yeah.
Right. I don't see anything bad about that. Where it's like, okay, that's all the things, of all the things you would expect, are gone.
No, I was just going to say, I think you're going the same way too. I'm not opposed to what he's doing. I'm just confused.
I'm just surprised because normally when you hear of people of that level, like, it's usually just like, oh, I just do charities and things like that to like get the recognition that I do the good thing. Not like, oh no, I specifically go and find a GoFundMe or Kickstarter or anything that supports people who have stood up to violence, and I give them almost 10 grand, which
no, almost 100 grand.
Almost 100 grand.
$99,999.
Sorry, I was sitting here thinking like 9,000. I was like, that's just shy of the IRS needing to look into something. But no, that's well and truly into. I mean, okay. I mean, I'm gonna guess he does this on the regular. Like you said, like, it's something that he does.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Yeah,
Like,
like,
every
it's good. Like, I don't know what to say.
yeah,
Like it's generally like it's like someone like I've got all this wealth. It's like, well, what do you? I give it to people who have done good things.
yeah,
They should not be put down. They should not be if they're gonna. I mean, I'm almost put myself in the mindset of like for 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 the hero of the Bondi Beach. Like if he is going to have crippling impacts for the rest of his life or anything like that. It's like that's a nice cushion to at least sort out like his ability to like get things set up in his home or like get adjustments or anything like that. A nice buffer zone for him to like sort things out in the future.
Mm.
Nice, yeah.
yeah. Like apparently, it was something like 2.7 million is what he
Yeah,
got by the end of the GoFundMe, but he was presented with, I think it was either this morning or yesterday. So yeah,
yeah. I think I saw like a video of like someone coming in with like a gigantic
Yeah.
check, hiding it from. He was like, "What's that?" And they were like, "He was like, if I remember rightly, he genuinely didn't believe that was there. It was like, you're kidding me." It's like,
yeah,
yeah, no, that's positive. That's Thanks for sharing. I didn't know that.
yeah. Because like other ones that because I just skimmed his X profile, which is one of the first things that came up, and like aside from Ahmed's, there's like cops in the US who were injured stopping a mass shooter. Got just people who got injured trying to stop bad people, and he's just donated and like spotlighted them. That's all it. Yeah,
I know that there is like a division in the United States about the view of police.
Hmm.
It's a job. You're still serving. Ultimately, yes, you're bound by what you do, but what the government rules, that's nothing that they really do. But if they go out and stop something like that, that's bravery.
Hmm.
That's my view of it. Or again, whenever I've engaged with Americans who have the dislike towards the police, I always have to say like, well, I come from the background of no, the Danish police is not immutable for scrutiny. They are recently coming into like a lot of scrutiny for misbehavior and being a bit rough on people. But I know that the requirements for becoming a police officer in Denmark is actually quite high.
really.
Yeah, you go to a dedicated school to become like a dedicated police academy. You have to learn and study law as is expected. You go through more training for de-escalating situations, both in terms of psychology, body language, how to make yourself, appear bigger as to like put someone at a disposition of not wanting to escalate it further, and also of like getting someone to like go from like being really angry down to like a level of like, okay, we can now have a calm conversation. Like there's a lot more focus towards that than them being trained in handling a weapon like a gun.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
You guys are trained like owls.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. De-escalation, but the Danish police do have access to guns. As a
Yes.
regular, police officer, I agree. You should, because that is a major deterrent.
Hmm.
For if you come into something like you having a gun and the other person having a bat, it's like, I think we all know, who's going to be like, okay, yeah, I'm not gonna win that one.
Hmm. I think
Which is
the Australian police, at least at the States, I think they all have a Glock sidearm handgun. But yeah, one of the big criticisms that I've seen, especially from our American friends, is that, oh, why didn't they have like rifles and stuff? It's like, because usually the bad people have a bat or a knife, and if they're going to not get stopped by the taser. They pull out the stop button.
Oh, I've just looked up Denmark. So the Danish is armed with a heckler and kosh, um, which I don't know what that is. And then, in addition to that, since 2008, all officers are also trained in using the Heckler and Koch MP5 gun. It's a German gun, apparently.
Heckler and Koch, yeah.
Yeah,
I unfortunately know way more than I should about guns and their manufacturers and origins from,
that's
ironically,
fair
the Japanese.
enough. Yeah, like guns never took an interest to me, so I was just like I didn't really care about it. Weirdly enough, I found logistics and trucks a lot more interesting. Um, and then my late teens, it was economics, but there. No, like going back to the point, yeah, because I know there's been other articles of like 4 friends from the Swedish police having a holiday in the United States, and they witnessed a confrontation, and they basically went, "Well, we're trained to handle this," so they de-escalated the situation, got the one who was clearly unwell, did a civil arrest, which is something I know at least in the Scandinavian countries you can do a civil arrest if you witness someone doing a crime, and then you hand them over to the police. So they did that, and then they're like, "Yeah, that's no one was harmed, no one was killed. One person who did the attacks was arrested and handed over. Happy days." Just gonna step away for a brief moment, if that's all right.
Yep. I am just weirdly looking up what the hello. Yep, there we go. Don't know why my camera just started phasing me out. I am looking up what Australia uses for their sidearm, and it's a .40 caliber Smith & Wesson M&P, military and police semi-automatic pistol, which I was not aware of. I could have sworn it was the Glock, but I was wrong. That was interesting. Yeah. I mean, I can kind of understand why it's got a similar profile to the Glocks that I've seen before in the past. So, yeah. And I'm sure if you are American and currently hearing what I was just saying before, and now hearing me talk about, models of guns and stuff, you're probably like, huh? That don't make any sense. Of course not. Yep. Y'all don't know much about us. So yeah, it's a Smith & Wesson. That's new. But yeah, to go back onto something, or just touch on something briefly. It is. Well, I will let people know that the 3.5 D&D game did wrap up. It has finished, concluded, and yeah. I probably will be taking a bit of a break from it for a while. But yeah, so that concluded. I don't really have much I want to talk about it right now, so yeah. But that had reminded me, I know I had to mention that, but that just reminded me of remembering that I need to mention that reminded me of something else I had to talk about, and now I've forgotten what it was. Awkward. Shit, what was it? Oh no, I'm an idiot. Why have you failed me? Damn stupid brain. Yeah, okay. Well, I've clearly forgotten what it was. That's unfortunate. Well, I mean, other. Pretty sure Game Master's latest video came out. His podcast that he'd been doing for the last few weeks. The Last Artificer. Go check that out. Episode 4. That was pretty cool. So, yes. Actually, check out the whole playlist. It was, yeah. Game Masters kept giving me cool sneak previews of that Last Artificer podcasting that he'd been doing. So, yeah, it was pretty cool. So, go check it out.
I'll probably have to. Right, so, go on.
I was trying to think of things to talk about while you weren't there. So, yeah. Also, apparently it's the Smith & Wesson MMP .40 sidearm, not the Glock. Could have swore it was a Glock. Maybe it's the federal police that have the Glock. I don't know. But yeah, apparently it's the...
I like the nickname of the Secret Service of Denmark.
Yeah.
Which stands for Politiets Efterretningstjeneste. PET. You're going to be working for PET. Hello there, PET. Oh, it's awesome.
That's legitimately...
That's funny.
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
We were so close to our space agency having the acronym of ARS. We were this close. Close. Until someone clearly pointed out that it was going to be ARS. And then they changed it. And so a comedy group took the name and has merged the fuck out of it instead. They are the funniest group. Basically, whenever the Australian Space Agency puts something up, they'll put something up. They'll put the thing up, but like slightly twist it in a comedic way.
Yeah.
And just, yeah. It's so fucking awesome. I love... God damn, we were so close to having ARS.
We were on the cusp of greatness.
We were. God damn it. ARS could have been the first people to fucking Venus or Mercury. Or... Damn it. ARS could have been on Uranus.
Oh, missed opportunities.
Yeah.
Anyway, back onto gaming related stuff.
Oh yes,
on a fun tangent. Speaking of ARS, naturally the Australian, exploration of the universe. I'll bring it over to my talk of 40K.
I mean, they have a lot in common, to be fair.
They do. There's a lot of bumfuckery happening in the 40K.
Also, both are inhospitable places to live. 40K, Australia. Yeah.
Sounds about right. And 40K has got a Catachan, which is just Australia on steroids.
See, I've kind of been brushing up on my kitty cats, and I'm not quite sure they're Australians on steroids. I think they might be just Australia Plus.
Okay.
I don't think they're as high as people think they are.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm not going to sit here and argue with someone who actually lives in a place that I would consider to be hell.
Is it the fact that all the small things are deadlier than the big things?
It's the fact that you have big and small things that are scary. It's nothing to do with the fact that if I take my shoes off, I have to bang them together to scare out the spiders so that they come out and like run away and don't stop biting me when I put my feet in there. That's that's something I could probably get used to after a while and potential death.
No,
Um,
well,
this-
anti-venom is very common nowadays in Australia. And you're never more than 5 minutes away from a clinic, so it's fine. There hasn't
Yeah.
technically been a death from a spider in about 15 to 18 years.
I was waiting for you to say 15 to 18 minutes.
Now that could be kangaroos.
Probably.
Oh Oh my god, the amount of Americans who think they can take on a fucking kangaroo.
No.
They have velociraptor claws and feet.
Yeah. Not to mention they jump up and they kick. You're going to go flying. They
Yes.
get you in a headlock and they're just like, you're going to stay here until you stop moving.
Or if they see water nearby, they're going to hop you to it and drown you. Because that's how they deal with their problems. They drown them.
They're ripped as well. Like, they're beefy things.
Oh, you've seen the Reds, I take it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, anyway, you were talking about 40k.
So basically the players have, since I was last here, the players have sort of made their way over to like a trade federation. This is a trade federation that is like on the fringes of the sector that I've made. Like, this is considered to be like the frontier worlds where it is super profitable. It is also super dangerous. And when they came to this sector, like this subsector, the first thing they were told is, if you scan someone, you are declaring war on them. Which everyone basically turned and looked at the helmsman, because every time they would meet someone, he would immediately shout, I scanned them. I scanned them. Like, he would scan everyone and everything, because it would just be like, okay, if we have to fight them, at least we know where their components are. They've now come into a sector. It's like, yeah, you do that, everyone will fight you. Everyone, no exceptions. You may have good arrangements with the navigator house that runs this area. They cannot stop the armada if you do this, because the armada, apparently, as they've learned, consists of former pirates who have been given a pardon by the Trade Federation. Because the Trade Federation basically went, listen, we've got money, we've got all of these things that you guys want. In exchange for you guys coming over and working for us, we will just write a blanket pardon for anything you've done. Don't care what it is. You now work for us. You're free of all former burdens. You're going to have steady income, retirement, all these benefits. Just come and work for us. Go on, Seraphis.
I'm just pointing this out. It feels like everyone would have had a more fun time playing a Star Wars game set in the Old Republic era.
Potentially. But like, this is how I've set it up. Now, the reason for why this place is dangerous is because there are set trade lanes that everyone travels through, because they are protected. The Federation is the one who's like, okay, we protect this. We've got regular things going backwards and forwards. We're making sure that's being done. But along those trade lanes, there are various Xenos who will come in and try and snatch the slowest ship and drag them into like the dark, into deep space, where they will do horrible things to it. They will keep humans, specifically the astropaths, alive, and then they will force them to do distress signals constantly. So there's always someone shouting, help me, help. And the player's been told, yeah, you deviate from the trade lanes, no one's going to help you. You go in there, no one's going to help you. And the player's like, okay, so what are the trade lanes? I was like, you guys have the trade lanes. Like, look at the map. You see those green lines? Like, yeah, those are the trade lanes. Like, so they haven't gone anything from here to here. It's like, nope, Why? Because that's going through deep space. Oh, so what if we build it? Like, if you build it, happy days, and good luck selling it to the people who have for generations been told you do not deviate from the path. So that was that. The players have met the homeworld of the Federation. They're learning like, oh, there is an orc warg happening nearby them. The humans have basically gone, right, anyone of like just gonna muster up. We're gonna go into a total war economy. We're sending off 2 million infantry like soldiers. We're dispatching like 60% of our armada. We're gonna go down to that cluster of stars. We're gonna stop the orcs. Players go, yep, sounds good. So you guys don't want to be a part of it? Nah, we're good. Cool. We will move on. I then had a bunch of other things that I wanted the players to get involved in, like, one of their allies. They've got 2 allies that is going with them. One of them is a captain who has a free ship. Like, he is a free sword, as it's referred to. So he is basically able to go and pick whatever war he wants in exchange for profit and contracts and what have you. So he's with them. He's got a big like crew, so like plasma cannons, plasma macro batteries, and like pretty big stuff. And he has the whole thing of like his crew is rank 40, which means like he only has professionals on his ship. Now, he's been taking some damage while he's been with the group. So he came to their meeting and basically went, right, I need you guys to go and find me replacements because all my credentials are with the Navy. The Navy in this part of space is seen as the devil because it works for another navigator house who has just been horrible to these people for centuries. The armada here is made out of pirates who hates the Imperial Navy, so I already have 2 massive negatives for getting replacements. I need you guys to go and do it. One of the players just go, no, that's fine. Just sling around our name and it'll be fine. I generally sat down with I had 3 or 4 plot hooks for what things that the players had to do. And I was like, okay, none of those are being presented now because you've just told them to sling around your name. Now, I went and rolled for him. He got a natural 6. So he got his men, but he turned around and via one of the NPCs, it was basically explained to the group that he was this close for leaving and not being given any. The players would have straight up have had him be at a mechanical disadvantage from there on out. So it was explained to them, if you guys don't actually help him, he will not get replenishments. So the players have never had to deal with this, but this is the moment of okay, you chose not to. Now you're gonna learn that because you got lucky, this happened. But if you got unlucky, you would not have got that. It's oh, but we could have done this. It's no, you couldn't. That ship came and went. You missed it. It's again that's. I have managed to get them on a quest, a dedicated one where they're gonna go somewhere, which is good. So there is an explorator that's gone missing in a part of space that even these Federation people are going, yeah, we're not going there. That is such a dangerous place. Even we think it's too dangerous to go there. So why are the players going there? Well, it has an STC, which already is okay, interesting. What form of STC? It is a manufacturing STC, so a machine that can basically take the input of the local planet. It will help basically speed up colonization, and with time and extended resource as an energy and power, it can go into terraforming. That's worth going on a big adventure for, don't you think?
Yeah.
And the players are can we? You've got the STC. Can we then peruse it? And they're yeah, assuming everything is the way they're talking to the local Magos, who's got his own like planet manufactorum that he's turning into a forge world. He's like, yeah, well, assuming I've got X amount of resources, assuming I am not being told by the higher ups of the Federation to deviate away from this project, if I only focus on that non-stop, 6 months, I can make one additional one of these. And it's like, okay, really good stuff. So the players are going to go straight in. First planet that they've come to, that this explorator was going, because the background is the explorator has to go and put this item on different planets to basically take the various different minerals and items and so on and process it, because it needs to calibrate for like the extremes, so like extremely good, extremely bad, so that it can start understanding but just take in whatever you need, which makes sense. First planet they come to, I have populated it with not Tyranids. Again, I've just taken the Tyranid stats, filed off everything, made my own little Xeno race, where the player's been told, oh yeah, like these things just fly through space. They just survive space. We met them, like they saw them like 500 years ago. We didn't really do much with them. We just shot them from a long distance and didn't just kill as many as we could while they passed through, the Federation space. And that's all they got. Which one of the players are like, well, what do you mean? Don't you have more? Didn't you do any studies? Like, no, we didn't. You're in like frontier world. We don't stop and study the alien. Again, like, I just think it's funny that there is the expectation of like, haven't you done all this? It's like, no, we just shoot them. Sorry, backtracking a little bit back to when they were at the Federation. One of the players is meant to be from a criminal background. I try to remind him. I try to get him to do things that's criminal, and I do all these other things, because within the Federation, they openly, like all the politicians, were like, "Oh no, we hate the aliens. We shoot them at any point. We do this, this, and this." But there's a thriving coal trade within the Federation that they know of, that they benefit from. The Federation is arming themselves with alien technology because they're like, we need every gun, every piece of technology that we can. And they have found a Magos and a division of the Adeptus Mechanicus who is like, yeah, we're not opposed to like taking that and like just fine tuning it so it looks slapping a Keeler and the Omnisire on it and move on. Again, listen, Seraphis, I build a mountain. And it's deep, there's a lot of things. I mean, the players could have done a lot. I'm fine with what they've done. When they had that session, I was genuinely disappointed, like how little engagement I got out of it. So I was like, okay, this is annoying me. So I threw this last one, the STC one. They're gonna go out, and now they're gonna go and deal with that, because I've had not complaints, but I've had feedback where it was, we don't feel challenged. All right, cool. I'll give you a challenge. Would you like some Tyranids? And so yeah, so there is that's ongoing there, and we'll deal with that. There's other things I'll need to write up, because there is there's a rival rogue trader who has come in. He's militaristic. He's gone in straight into like where the big void battle is. He's fighting rat ghouls. He's been beating the shit out of them. So they're not a problem anymore. He's now taking on the orcs. Now, he knows that the way that the orcs work is like, if there is a big fight, all the orcs are going to come. He's counting on that. What he's done is that he's found where the entry point is of the orcs. He's mined it. He's just been dropping mines in that space. So when the orcs come out, the first thing they're going to hit is just a metric ton of mines, plasma bombs, and melter missiles. That's just going to fly into them and destroy them. After that, he's going to fly over, get his navigator to analyze the warp pattern, find out where the orcs come from, and then he's going to take himself, his 5 cruiser support ships, the Vanguard Admiral, and the battle cruiser that he commands, and they're going to go to the stronghold of the orcs, and they're going to have a fight. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. There's a massive fight that the players sort of like they found the place, but they're like, yeah, there's way too much activity there. I don't like it. We're just gonna avoid it for now. It's like, that's fine. That's fine. Like, no, legitimately, that was fine. There was like 50 orc ships in that place. If they got in there, like the quick ones would have come at them in squadrons. So it'd been like 4 or 5 squadrons. So it'll be like 20 or 25 ships that would have just gone like, oh, fight, vroom. And once you get into like big squadron fights, it gets nasty really fucking quickly because the orcs will just output so much firepower. It is insane. Not to mention they will literally ram you. They'll just fly into you 5 different ships at different angles going like, we've got to get you, we're going to fucking beat you in. So you're going to have the other rogue trader, the Vanguard Admiral, and like big ass guns going in there going like, oh, okay, we didn't expect this, but we're going to have to do something about it. Because that base, there is an orc who's he's not like an orc mech, but he's like he's a tinkerer, like he's an engineer. He has taken one of the moons. He's in the middle of literally digging it out to create a killer moon.
I really hope your players engage with your story.
Oh god, that's fine. Listen, this is happening on the other side of the sector. That's fine. Like, they're just gonna come in and basically this other rogue trader is gonna be like, I am the one who freed the Imperial Navy. I have done this. I have done that. I have done this. Like, he's just gonna be listing out like all the military victories that he's done, which has basically freed up the sector to like actually have military support. The players have gone, right, we're going to be doing infrastructure, we're going to be doing logistics, we're going to be doing trade networking, we're going to be doing this. I like that. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy the fact that they've gone into a part of space that no one's gone into. They've been mapping out, they've been creating a highway, they're monopolizing that. That's awesome. They've been exposed to a bunch of like different things. I now just need them to stop sitting in the ship all the time. Because that's all they do. They sit in the ship, they scan the place and go, okay, move on. I was like, right, there's 7 maps I made for that planet. Null and void. Move on. Moving to the next one. The adventure of you guys excavating this out is going to be done. But wait, don't worry, Seraphis. I have other ways that I'm going to make them engage. You see, what is the tried and tested method to make sure that the players come and go exactly where you need them to go? How do you rile up the players? How do you do the thing that makes them the most angry? You take something from them.
Yeah. You see, I've tried that with my players, and I was still missed the mark.
But for these players, I'm not just going to take like an item. I'm not just going to take like a ship. I'm going to take a planet. All these things are happening over here with that rogue trader, the orcs, the battles, and all that. Cool, the players don't want to be a part of that. I'm fine with that. That's background stuff. That's just to show that the world keeps on moving, regardless of whether or not the players are engaging. What is going to be happening is that there's a specific sector that I've now mentioned called the Slave Corridor that is going up to the Badab sector. You know what the Badab sector is.
I believe so.
Yeah, it's where we had the Badab War. It's where there's a lot of, chaos warriors.
Yeah.
It's where Huron Blackheart is sort of based out of. It's a nasty place. And if there's a slave corridor, it means that there is a slave trade. So, I am going to be introducing, and let me just quickly open up my file, because I'm going to be introducing the most vile thing you can to an enemy or to a player. It
Dark
is
Order.
well, that too. But I was going to get to that in a bit, but you know what? You jumped the gun. Fine. Yes. Let me open up my little thing. You see, in the place where the players are going, or to explore and find the lost explorator, why settle for one Dark Elder when I can have two rival Dark Elder cabals? So let's rewind the time a little bit. Where are the players right now? They have been given the map of where this explorator is going to be going, where it's going to be studying, and all of that. So they've got like the full schedule of like, here's where it's meant to be. They've also been told, listen, this is under ideal circumstances. We don't know if they were thrown off by warp cores or any of this. So like, you guys need, like, your navigator needs to do some legwork. Like, you can't just follow it blindly and expect that it's going to be there. So like, just be aware. And the players like, yeah, no, they're completely reasonable. They're not idiots. They understand that. So they have arrived. They arrived at the. Let me just quickly see if I can move this around. I'm probably going to be sharing my screen so you can see what I've done. Share screen. Rising Dynasties. I'm going to share that. I think that should be showing up at some point. There we are. So this is the map. This is the sector. As you can see, there's a lot of shit going on right now. And the players right now have gone from here, which is where we've got the Trade Federation, over to here. Now, the orange line is where the explorator is said to have been going. The red circle is where the Magus thinks that it is currently at. He doesn't know, but according to the schedule and accounting for potential delays, this is where he thinks it should be. But it's woefully behind schedule. He doesn't really know. Like, there's no guarantees on any of this. Now, pardon me for just having a lot of things.
Ooh, pretty.
Yes. So I bought some animated tokens. You know what it looks like when the Tyranid comes into a system, right? That little gloom of tendrils making their way
Yes.
in.
Yes.
That's this. That is this. These are the creatures that are coming through the void right now. I've just renamed it to the Tharun. Now, they have been mentioned twice now before they arrived here. The Inquisition of this place. Sorry, I'm very proud of what I've done. So I will be subjecting you to a bunch of like lore dumps.
Oh no, look at me complaining about lore.
Yes. This is the Inquisitor of the Ordo Hereticus / Ordo Sinus, Valen Dracus.
Ooh.
Basically, as you can see, he has given up a lot of himself for what he does. And his interrogator, Gavel Roltus II. Yeah, the second. He basically introduced them to, or he told the players about the Tharun, because the Tharun has been documented as being the genetic foundation for a bunch of other insectoid xenos that is found throughout the rest of the sector. So like a lot of like other attacking and marauding creatures, their genetics originate from them, from the Tharun. And the Tharun has, much like the Tyranids, they have the ability of like adapting to the environment and adapting to what they need to do. So that means when I make the characters for the Tharun, that means that they are going to be having, not this one, it's the Trooper. When they go in, they're going to be having talents, which is just normal primitive talents. When they fight the players and realize, oh, they have armor on, well, we can't have that. They suddenly develop piercing talents with their mono quality.
That's going to be fun.
It is. And you see these small balls floating along?
Yes.
You're familiar with the the D&D creature that looks like a beholder, but it's actually just a gas spore.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. So these things are basically biological and chemical bombs that float towards the enemy, and they're like, please kill me, and they do, and they will irradiate the place as like a 4-meter diameter, and basically go like, all of you are now going to be having con saves if you don't have a gas mask on. And then if you don't have a gas mask on, you're going to start having poisons, and you're going to start having actual penalties to your stats. And if you're continuously exposed to this, you will go down the route of slowly but surely deteriorating down until you become, not that, yeah, basically you become an infected humanoid,
Oof.
also known as gene stealers. So that's what the players are going to encounter. So they need to go down on this planet here, where I have prepared a site for them to go and explore. A variety of things, and a variety of wonderful places for them to go and fight and deal with things. I need to still populate all of them. But yeah, so that's like what I've prepared for the players. But Saxius, you devil incarnate, what's gonna get them to go down there? Well, you see, that's the trick. They haven't. Because when they arrived over here.
Yeah.
And they were like scanning it and like, oh, what is this? Oh, I don't really know. Move their way over, do some more scans. I was like, oh, astropaths and navigator, can you do some Cynicians? And they're like, oh, this thing seems to be like an absorber. Basically, like if you go in there, your Cynicians and any rolls for like casting out Cynicians powers is at a -20.
Yep.
Because it's reflecting the whole a shadow in the warp of the Tyranids. So that's just that. But the players came along and I was like, oh, what's that? That's a ship graveyard. What's in the ship graveyard? Well, that is where... Oh, I don't have it now. Did I upload it? Yes. Oh, just a moment. I thought I had it. It's a Strixus Seebeck ship, so I'll just quickly make a handout for you. That's not working. We'll just do it this way. So, a Strixian Seebeck ship is basically a giant Imperial ship towing along other ships. And they've been told there's a big cruiser ship, there's a small frigate, and there's a small Imperial transporter, and then an Orc ship. Now, the 3 ships here, they are basically gutted. There's nothing inside except for cargo holds. That's all that there is. And then there is the main ship here of the Strixus. And the players would like to go and explore that, which is great. But you see, along with the Strixus ship, there is also primary outer reaches. There is also Dark Elder Corsair class escorts that has been damaged. Now, this is a group of Dark Elder pirates that is run by Sybarite Mavis Valian, which is also known as, if I can move this out, the Whisper Knife, who has brought along her Draco Sylvia Cathe. This is a group of, Drukhari, where they went out on a raid and they came across some rivals who just bested them a little bit. Now, when an Archon is bested and loses face to their minions, the minions usually go, are we really following him? So Super Red decided that no, we're not. So the Archon was killed, and now they're going to be running it themselves. So they've just recently attacked, and they've been pulling out a lot of various creatures from the Strixus. Primarily, they've been taking a lot of information about like where are the Eldari Corsairs, where are the human settlements, where are this, where is that we can go and nicely attack and get something nice and juicy. So they did that, and they've gone out, and they're now been going through a long process of like translating that while enjoying and savoring the pain of their freshly acquired victims. The players have arrived, and they're now doing all of these scans, and the players are like, okay, we've recognized the Drukhari ships. We're now going to be guns out. Everyone's going to go, and we're going to go and explore this. Mavis has basically, because this is my understanding, and correct me if you disagree, when an Imperial vessel scans something, it's the equivalent of a sonar radar just going boom. Like, it's pretty clear what's happening.
Yeah, I mean, back in the 30th century with the Emperor and stuff around, they did have some more advanced tech, but from my understanding in present 40k, yeah, the tech is a lot more brutal and straightforward in its function.
Yeah. So they've been doing that a couple of times. So the Dark Elder's been going like, oh, what's that? So they've been like at the outskirts, just like seeing what's been going on. And they're slowly making their way in, like from down here. They're going to be making their way up and across. They're doing what's called for running silent, which is that they have no energy that's being used. They are using their solar sails to power themselves up, which means that they're even more difficult, and they've got their ghost field activated. The players have encountered Eldar before. They've acquired the ghost field data, so they get a +10 against all the penalties every time they try to like pick up on the Eldari ghost fields. So they could spot them, but these Drukhari, they very much want to like, okay, get a bit closer, get a bit closer, get a bit closer. And they're gonna do like very small scans to like not to avoid detection. They usually need to understand like how big are the ships. So they're gonna target the biggest one because that's probably gonna be the dangerous one, which is one of the players' allies. Which is by the captain, Lord Caban. And he has a ship known as the Tyrant's Fortitude. So they're going to make their way up, and they're going to attack him. They're going to attack him with torpedoes, but not torpedoes that's going to be drilling their way through and going boom. It's going to be leech torpedoes, which means that they will depower one component for every hit. With a surprise, that's +20. With short range, that's another +10. And the torpedoes has a +20 or 30 off the top of my head. There's going to be a lot of those things attaching themselves all of a sudden. So that basically suddenly you're just going to go boom, like a lot of things are like, okay, and they didn't have to run in, do tech rolls to decouple, and every degree of success will detach one leech torpedo. But while that's happening, you're going to have like 3 or 4 Elder Corsairs run up and do a hit and run and run away. Here's the thing when it comes to boarding actions. You roll to get on board, easy enough. You roll your command to do your attack, easy enough. The enemy rolls a command to repel you, easy enough. If the Dark Eldar wins, for every degree of success, they do 1d5 +2 morale and population damage. I am not taking into account the fact that when they go on board, they are going to be so high on drugs, it is going to become very nasty very quickly. So if we just get a, let's see, GM roll 2d5 plus, and it'll be a +2 times 2, so a total of 4. That means that we're going to be having a population decrease of 8% of the ship and 11 morale damage done in 30 minutes.
I feel like your players, unless their insane streak of luck continues, are going to get very fucked over.
So this is like the NPCs. Like their NPC is going to be given a hit that is going to be felt. I'm just going to do a quick calculation just because I like showing the numbers that are involved. Let me just quickly get the light cruiser. So a light cruiser has a population of 65,000. Sorry, 0.08. That means 5,200 people are killed in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
That's assuming if they get just 1 degree of success on landing.
Yeah.
So they're going to do that. They're going to run off, and then there's going to be a second wave that's going to fly in, and they're going to do lance attacks. Eldar lance attacks, as long as they get I think it's every degree of success up to a maximum of 3, they get an attack. But they're going to come in a small squadron of 2 or 3, which means they get more attacks in. They're going to break down the shields, because this one's got I think it's 2 shields on top of it. So they break through that, and then every bit of damage is then going to damage the hull and do more population damage. And then they're going to fly away. They're going to go back into space, hide for a little bit, and then they're going to creep back up. And then they're going to try and get around and do back attacks against the players. They're going to do that for 3 attacks. And then they're going to have nice and full cargoes from that. Let me just remind myself how big a fleet we're dealing with here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, wait, no, I got it wrong. They don't have torpedoes. That's another one. So they will literally just fly up and just do boarding attacks. That's 1, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5. So 3 board attacks, 2 lance attacks, and then they fly off. Nice.
I really hope this lights a fire underneath your players.
Listen, they were told this is the most dangerous place, even by the frontier standards. They've straight up said, we are not populating that place. We have tried, we have failed. Let me just go to AH. Because this is where the Archon that defeated this group is residing. Where you've got this Archon, who has got a witch cult that's coming along because shits and giggles, and a Cableite. Are you familiar with Cableites?
I'm not sure. I'm
Cableites.
going to say no just off the top of my head.
Sure. Cableites are Drukhari who are born naturally. They are not born via vets. They're not born via cloning. They are not born the way that the Drukhari normally makes it, like a female Dark Elder has actually carried them in their womb for that long that they were birthed naturally. They are seen as nobility. They are treated as nobility.
Huh.
So there is a gang of these noble people who has been incentivized by this Archon to come here on this raid. And if memory serves me right, it is meant to be, 9 ships. I need to review that because there should be at least one bigger ship amongst that. This is meant to be like one big ship, 2 support ships, and the rest should be raiders.
Yeah.
But they're in this place. And let me show you what that place is. Because this is actually a human populated world that has got like interstellar. And they were like having the whole like, oh, we're gonna populate, we start off in this planet. We've now gone and populated this planet. We have got, a setup. We've got a mining on an asteroid. We've got a penal colony over here on this fire planet, and we're now going over and we're doing extraction on this planet. And oh shit, there is now 9 Dark Elder Corsairs who are just going from planet to planet to planet, having fun, loading everything up, getting nice and fat, moving over to the next planet, and just having a whale of a time. This is where there is going to be like the last contact with the explorator fleet, because then the explorator fleet is going to go out, and it will then be found in here, which is on the cusp of like a very effectively, when the players go in there, they will not see the Astronomicon, so they can't see the light of the Emperor. There will be random events, like out of nowhere, there's just going to be things that's going to fly out. There is going to be dangerous creatures. There's going to be areas where reality and the immaterium is like really strained. And if they pass through that, there is a potential of warp incursions of like demonic entities trying to like jump out. So it's right now the players are planning on going from here to here to here to here to here to here. So I need to like map out the other places here that need to be done. But I've already got like this one here done, where they're going to be meeting a representative of the I think I named it the Nerabian Principality. It's a pirate principality. This is what happens when I'm being left alone, unsupervised.
Zach's got a question for you.
Go on.
Aside from myself,
Yeah.
how many people, when you tell them about this game, are like, man, I want to join?
I can't think of anyone that said no thank you. Genuinely, like people like, oh, I'm amazed. That's incredible. And I have recently finished this gentleman. Oh, is he going to be coming through? No, he's not. All right, let me see if I can change this. Sorry, just sharing it in the other one, because I was mentioning that I need to incentivize the players to do things. So I've introduced an evil villain, a French pirate, a marquis.
Well, he's French. He's got to be evil.
Du Tante Lefleur de Valier. Like, right there. The Marquis of the Whirling Blade. So yeah, so he is a pirate who literally he was bored. His entire background was like he was given like, oh, you can have this like really prestigious thing, you can have all this job, like there's all this thing, like you can be wealthy. And he just went, I'm gonna be fucking bored. Like I'm gonna be surrounded and I have to do etiquette, I have to do this. I will not have that. So he just took his inheritance and ran, got himself a ship, and decided like I need drama in my life. I need theater when I go out. So like everything that he does is about being flamboyant. He's ruthless. Like he's all about like inspired by Slanesh characters, sure, but like he's not all the way down fallen. Like he's definitely in the pursuit of going down this direction, and he's made an alliance with a group of navigators who have gone, fuck it, piracy is a way of life, and it's perfectly valid.
So it's not so much that he's gone down the path of Slanesh, but more read about the history of who the Elder were and gone, I like that lifestyle of fucking ourselves into a new god.
Yes.
Through depravity.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to see if I can find the character again, because there's like a French woman, like during the French Revolution, who literally just like she was meant to be married off, but she's just like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Oh, you want me to marry this man? Fine. I will only marry him if he can defeat me in a duel, and she would kick everyone's ass. And then she would just sleep around, and she'd be like, what are you gonna do? Can't stop me. Oh, you want to fight me? Fine. I'm gonna kick your ass. She would entertain like things like Charles VIII. She'd like run around. I'll see if I can find it for you. Count Dankula did a series on her, and she was just like, yeah, like she burned down a monastery for nuns to break out her girlfriend. Like it was just like, I gotta get you out somehow. Oh, how are you gonna do it? Are you gonna pretend like put a fake dummy in my bed? Are you gonna do this? Like, no, I'm just gonna start a fire. So yeah, so he has then got a ship. He's got this, and he's of course got named NPCs.
Well, that's always a good sign.
It's always a good sign when the enemy has got named NPCs. So yeah. So that's what he's got. So he's got a captain who goes out and like does things for him. He's got another lady that's like a lover and a subject. Like they're supposed to have like this like love-hate relationship of like there's love, there's drama. They hate each other, they fight, they make up, they really make up, that sort of thing. And then he likes to just piss off the ecclesiarch, and he recently stole a ship called the Eternal Hope from she's meant to be a Irish rogue trader named Lady Aoife Ermengarde. And he did that just because, like, I don't like the ecclesiarch, I'm just going to steal this. You've stolen from another rogue trader. Oh, delicious. Things just went a bit bad because they unfortunately had Nixian shadow fiends, which are seen as creatures that use the warp to create shadows and illusions. So like you fight against them and they're like, oh, you don't know if you're fighting against them or if it's an illusion. And they do a lot of trickery so that your sanity slowly trickles, or your insanity trickles up. So those things came on board. The ship crashed. The commander, I think it was Captain Eloy Vanak, had to like do a bail, and basically went, well, shit. Well, it crashed. We did the thing. Happy days. And yeah. So this character, Dutant, has now arrived in the system. He is claiming ownership over the slave corridor, and he's going to be going in and going, I would like a taste of fun, like very Dr. Evil of like, I need to go in and do this. So he's gonna just start shit. He's gonna steal. He's going to come across one of the players' planets where they have placed a ship over the planet. The ship does not have any warp capabilities because it doesn't have a navigator. But he's going to come, he's going to defeat that ship, he's going to get on board, and he's going to go, right, oh, I'm going to rip out, I'm going to do tech heresy, I'm going to rip out the IP of the ship so that I can now false flag attacks to make it look like the players have done these attacks.
I love it.
You love it, don't you? Like you just learn, like, oh, like when the players learn, like the Void Reaper has been spotted raiding a rival rogue trader's home or planet. They're like, the Void Reaper, they don't have a navigator. And it's going to be a case of like, no, you were identified, like your battleship is like, no, it's a raider class ship. You're telling me that like a ship that is 3 or 4 times bigger than the one that is actually full. Like we've got the schematics. It's like, yeah, we've got the scans that literally has your flag to the ship. So I'm going to have that show up. Listen, I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen in the deep, terrible space where there's going to be Dark Eld and all that. Like, I want them to go through that. I'm going to flesh all that out. I'm going to get them through that. And then I'm going to have the pirate marquee show up. The players, like, I need to write up a bunch of reports because what I do is that every, like, 90 in-game days, the colonies expand and they get reports of, like, what's happening in the wider system. So they've got like a navigator who works as like both as an ambassador and as a spy for the group. The astropath, after me sitting down with the player and going, listen, you need to up your game because I don't think you understand. Like he's the one who has failed to do proper reporting to the Inquisition. And I had to be, he did a bunch of rolls. I was like, okay, you've rolled well enough here. I can now actually explain to you that you realize after sending your latest report, you have been fucking yourself over. So I had to basically explain the situation of where they are. There is no sector governor. There is no sector capital. The navy of this sector has gone from 120 down to 30 ships. There are 2 orc wargs. There are at least 5 different Rakgol marauders. There are at least half a dozen identified minor Xenos incursions and raiders and pirates. There are pirate empires that are being built up. All the navigator houses have now drawn lines and are on the borderline of a civil war. The reason why you're here, the reason why you got your warrant as a group, is because this sector is so rich in resources, and I pointed this out, like every sector, every place you've gone to, you can always set up a mining colony. Always. And that's because you have the Indomitus Crusade and the 4th Tyrannic War happening right now. Can you imagine just a small amount of like how resource heavy those 2 things are?
Yep.
Yeah. So as I explained to the player who's doing all of this, it's like your job and the job of the Inquisition is to analyze how bad it is. If the Inquisition has bad intel, he will give bad intel to his superiors who will make a decision that will cost the Imperium more resources. That cannot happen right now. Your job is to just tell him what you find. That's all you have to do. Your job is literally to go and explore where the Inquisition cannot go. And the player went, okay, I have horribly misjudged my job, and I've horribly misjudged how bad it is in this place. I was like, yeah, you really have, and it's taken you a year, like a real life year, to get to this point. Anyway, that player now understands what the score is. That player now understands that he's got to be playing ball. I'm looking forward to it because he's the only one. Every time I make reports for the astropath, he gets it first. Every time a player goes, I would like to send an astropathic message out, he immediately gets a copy. He gets to see everything. I mean, everything. I even tell him, if you want to change anything that's being written, you can do that. If you would like to sit and like scan the immaterium for other people's messages, you can do that. You are literally the one who controls the postal service, and you can intercept other people's messages, and you can change them. That's such a cool thing as for a player. Like, I'm sure you're probably sitting there going, like, I could do so much with that.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. The navigator is like a lower class rogue trader. You do all your navigation stuff, and if you're very good at it, we never have to deal with encounters in the warp. Awesome, cool. That actually makes the game smoother and more fun because you just go to the different exploration. You're not like, we're stuck in a warp brief. We now have to do this. We now have to do that. It could be fun, but it's like, it's like, oh, the entire game just suddenly came to a crash, and now we've got to go and deal with this. It's like, let's just move on. Like there's enough on the plate as is. And then you've got like navigator houses who are bickering. You can literally get navigator house operatives, black ops for navigator houses. That's awesome. You can be the Void's master, and you're like, okay, you're in charge of the ship running smoothly. That's never easy. You have got tens of thousands of people. As you and I know, people don't get along. You have to deal with that. And you are then also the one that is able to sit down with other shipmasters, and you can talk with them. Because shipmasters are not going to talk to anyone, but they usually will talk to like other people who run ships. You can be the arch-militant, you can be a commando, you can be a bodyguard, you can be a general, you can be a specialist, you can be a blitzkrieg soldier. You can do so many different things. You can even go down the line of like genetically modifying yourself to become a super soldier. I like Rogue Trader. Rogue Trader has so many things that you can do. And it does mean that the players have to come in and they've got to go, right, I am playing this class, which is meant to fill this function. But within this scope, I can be so much more. Again, let's take the Void Master, the one who flies the ship. He is also going to be the guy who gets all the talents. Like, oh, you're now on a planet. We need to drive somewhere. Well, he can drive it. It's a hover ship. It's a hover car. He can fly it. You need someone to be taking you from point A to point B without crashing because there's thunderous storms. He can do it. Would you like an epic aerial combat? Who's flying that and who's making the cool maneuvers? That's him. So first, let me just put this out. If you at any point find that your Saturdays or Sundays are available, let me know. If I have a game that's ongoing, I'll see if I can squeeze you in. Because it sounds like this is the sort of thing you're sitting going like, I need to play this. I need this form of heroin in my life.
I'm not going to say that you're not wrong.
I know you have the real life obligations.
Well, yeah, but also the time zones are also quite a bitch.
So I play at 10 p.m. UK time on a Saturday till 1 a.m. UK time. So I don't know if that's like 10 a.m. for you. Because it's like 1 o'clock now for you. See here. So 10 would be. All right,
Well,
just need to be.
it's Monday.
That's 9.
This is 8:30.
Okay, so the game that I run is on Saturdays, 10 in the evening for the UK, which is 9 a.m. Sydney time for you, Sunday morning.
Yeah, see, that's breakfast time, and we've got school holidays. And the kitchen is right behind me.
All right. Fair. That's right. I can see if I can float over if we need to delay things.
That's so good.
That's all right. I can get you as an Aussie in there. The things you will do.
On the bright side, you are giving me ideas of what I can do now that I'll have the free time to start my own games up again. Because that itch has been going on for way too long.
Tell me about it. I have to stop myself from making more games because that's. I just find myself going like, I can do another game. I can run another one. It's like, no. Don't return to what you did at the university. Don't run 7 games a week. Oh, sorry. No, I think it was 8 games a week.
See,
Sorry, no, like I'm recalculating. No, I was at 11 or 12 games a week.
Jesus.
Yeah. Like there would be several times where I'd be like, I'd have a game at university. I have a game at university every day, but then there'll be some games or some days where I would have 2 games that day. So like from 6 to 9, and then like from 9:30 to 1 or 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
That was my highest, and I was like, that was the most insane thing I've ever done. I crashed out after 6 months of that.
Understandable. We took a week to go down to stay at a beach house.
Yeah.
Just after high school, and we had the place for a week. And on day, it was kind of. I'm going to phrase it as good winter here.
Yep.
So it was cold, but the wind was the worst part. But also the best part, because the winds here, they pick up the waves. So the waves are always like 2 times bigger than they are normally. So winter is the best time for the surf. Anyway, so we would take breaks to go down to the beach. But for the most part, we were inside where it's warm and not wind, playing our game, right? We crashed out on day 6. Because basically, when we weren't taking a break, even if we were doing food, the game was going.
Yeah.
And it was just straight, because we just wanted to have fun. We just finished off high school. We're there to have fun. And we crashed out. We crashed out hard.
I know what you mean. Like you're walking to the shop, like you're doing something else. You're still in character, doing this, and it's like, oh yeah, you don't need to roll for that. Like this is happening, and this is how it's working. Like,
yeah. Like we had, because like, not to date myself or anything, this was like 2002, and so my mate's like left driving in his car. He's got his he's got his mobile phone on speaker. Like this is like a Motorola or something like that. Yeah. One of those early ones that had like a speaker option. Oh man, imagine saying that speaker was a new feature. And like it was driving to go pick up the pizzas because you didn't fucking have delivery back then. Well, not in a beachside rural community anyway. And he's saying what he's doing so he can go pick up the pizzas, and we're just still playing. And he's making sure he doesn't miss any of his turns. Like,
That's amazing.
That's the level of commitment we were doing.
I know.
Oh.
All right, I think it is getting late for you. It's also getting a bit late for me. I'm going to have to bounce out here, but that is awesome. That ending on a really high note, that's awesome. I absolutely respect that.
We should do an episode where it's just what
did we do when we were at the peak?
The peak of our
gaming career.
Yes.
Yes. You know what? I'm happy with that. Like sitting and just sharing, like, here's the worst thing I did. Because I sat outside like in a library in the middle of December. No, sorry, late December in Denmark. So I could have their Wi-Fi to go through and prepare for the next campaign and talk to my players. Literally not having enough layers on, getting to the point where my teeth were like clattering, like, and I had one person go like, who is pouring water? I'm like, no, it's me. I'm outside a library in the winter. I am not inside. And he went, why? I'm like, because we need to have this game prepared for the new year.
Just for context, anyone who's watching, he's talking about Wi-Fi, and I'm talking about a phone when the feature of a speaker first came into existence. This is our age difference.
Yeah. And we both have the same level of insane commitment.
Hey, the hobby attracts a certain type of people.
And I wouldn't have it any other way.
Oh, fuck no. Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm going to bring this to an end. And thank you, everyone, for coming in on the absolutely lovely adventure that is Saxus's Warhammer 40k game. And oh man, you make me moist for what the Dark Elder are going to do, you know. I'm just saying. But yeah, so catch us next week, probably. Yeah, probably.
Potentially, yeah.
And yeah, we will see you later. Bye-bye.